Hi, I'm Andrew Bradley. I'm principal at William Buck and I head up our family office practice here. A lot of people ask, what is a family office? I get asked that question a lot. It's really just tailored services for families with complex needs. And what that means is they're not strategies for just mum and dad, they're strategies for multiple generations, multiple family members, multiple assets and structures. So it's about a family management structure and bringing that together. It's about privacy and security. It's about legacy and maintaining family legacies, education, philanthropy, and a range of things that are really important to the family. So the types of families we deal with are typically multi-generational families is very common, where we do a lot of family governance and work with them around next generation education, family charters and councils, their philanthropy strategy. The other type of client that we work with is entrepreneurial, so first generation families that are really starting on that journey and trying to understand. We do have other types of clients in the not-for-profit or for-purpose sector, so charities, foundations, endowments, where they have fiduciary responsibilities, long-term investment horizons, and they need investment consulting and advice around some of their governance structures as well. So there's a saying, a shirt sleeve to shirt sleeves, that grandfather plants the seed and father sits underneath the tree and children eat the apples. So that's something we try and avoid through education, through looking at purpose and legacy, and helping families come together and talk about that and plan for that into the next generation and get that next generation ready and prepared for that long-term legacy that they're looking to protect. So with a family governance process, a generational family, typically we've got quite a structured, disciplined three-step process. The first step is around getting the family together and talking about what some of the key issues are. Then we would go and do a survey, which is a 24-question survey based on 6 questions in 4 key categories, and a lot of those are risk factors around trust and communication, readiness, as I mentioned, and purpose for that family. So if you're not getting those things right, then there are risks. So the process helps identify and manage those. And then we do an interview with each family member so we can draw out a lot of the individual issues and get a lot of really good data. So this is a lot of the soft stuff that we talk to, but we get some hard data to help us analyse and look at the family's current scenario. That process then will help us deliver a family charter or a constitution, which is really just a roadmap that the family designed for themselves. And that will include things like purpose and legacy, whether or not they want to establish a family council, whether or not they need an employment policy for family members coming into the business and what that means and how they should get prepared. Other things like fire drills, where families will look at if mum and dad get hit by the bus, what are the first 4 phone calls that they'd make, who would they make them to, what sort of questions they need to ask, things like that. So it's quite a practical, usable, living, breathing document that families will get in that first stage of the governance process. Getting to the question about why families come and talk to us, it's really about keeping families together and helping them make good decisions. When you do that, there's never really a perfect time, but I think personally it's when once the kids have finished school, they're probably at uni, they're in their 20s, they're making decisions, they're mature enough to understand, or there's health issues in the family, or there's a sale of a business. Probably the big 3 drivers of why people come and talk to us. So typically families, you take a first gen family, entrepreneurial families, generated wealth for the first time, the kids are coming through. A lot of that's around education, and education for that next generation, and identifying really practical things like what it means to be a beneficiary or a trustee or a director or on a board. Families are sort of in the range of 20 million and upwards would outsource because there's benefits in pooling resources and getting access to expertise. The team is really comprised of the firm, and what clients access is the power of the firm and the resources in the firm, because not everyone can be an expert in tax or superannuation or trusts and trust structures. or investing. So we work in a collaborative way with clients. When they come in, depending on their needs, we can bring in the right kind of specialists in-house and externally. We help families coordinate all of their advisors, whether it's banking, tax or legal, whatever the needs might be, estate planning. The role is really based around having that relationship and that knowledge of the family and who are the right people to bring to come in and get involved so that we get the right outcomes for that family.